Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? Today I'm going to be trying Nissin's Seafood Cup Noodle Soup, which, believe it or not, contains real seafood. So speaking of real seafood, let's try some real octopus first. Now let me, the person, tell you, the people, something about octopus. Don't be squirmish about it. Close your eyes, take a big old bite, and enjoy, because it's one of the most delicious things you'll ever eat. If you have an all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue restaurant near you, they always have baby octopus and squid. Try them both. You can even ask for a half an order or just a couple pieces just to give it a try. That's really the only thing I eat is squid and octopus at Korean barbecues. And lucky for me, I get to eat the whole order because nobody else at our table will eat it. Losers. But today's octopus that I'm trying is one I've never tried before that was sent to me from a viewer after picking it up off my Amazon wish list. Unfortunately, either I lost the slip or the slip wasn't included with the package. So I don't know who to thank for this. But if you're watching and you've got this for me, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's a 3-ounce can of smoked canned octopus from the Wild Fish Company that costs $14.
Oh my goodness, Larry. $14 for a can of octopus? That's crazy.
Scooter, we've been through this many times before on the channel. I personally don't mind paying 10 times the cost that I know where it was caught, how it was harvested, who caught it, and it supports American jobs. If you ever wondered what smoked octopus in tin cans tasted like, here you go. It's smoky, briny, and succulent. And I like the fact that this company has a sense of humor. Here's the very short list of ingredients. Now here's the nutrition information I got off the Wild Fish website, and it doesn't make any sense to me. So how do you get 3 2-ounce servings out of a 3.5-ounce can? Now the Wild Fish Cannery suggests to serve it up with a fine whiskey. Hell yeah, I got my Blanton's on ice right next to me. And they also recommend to try it straight out of the can, which is what I'm going to do. And for some reason, some of you, the people, continuously ask me about my fingernails. So if you truly think those are my hands and my fingernails, I got some oceanfront property in Arizona that I'll sell you for a great price. So there's what smoked canned octopus looks like right in the can. Exactly what you would think it would look like. Smoked canned octopus in a can. So we dumped it out onto the plate along with all the juices. And man, the aroma, woo doggy. You better hide the kitty cats because that smells good. As you can see, it doesn't take a lot of octopi to make up 3.5 ounces. I definitely expected more than what I see. But it didn't matter. It smells amazing, and I'm hoping that a little bit in this case goes a long way. So we shanked our first tentacle like a nautical prison snitch. And as far as smoked octopus goes, that looks really good. So into the old pie hole, and down the gullet it went. And there for a minute, the way Relisha was shaking her hand, I thought she was having a seizure, but it was to get the smoked octopus juice off her hand. Needless to say, she was not going to be partaking in the tasting of the smoked octopus. Loser. Now I'm going to be the very first one to say that the smoked octopus with the juices on the plate don't look very appetizing whatsoever. However, once it enters your mouth and your molars and incisors start cutting through the flesh, that's when the party began. And I think pairing it with a good whiskey is a great idea because you really want to savor each sip, or taste in this case, of both. The first thing I noticed when I bit into the smoked octopus was how briny it was. At first, it tasted a little bit too salty. However, it was followed by a nice sweetness that immediately balanced out the brininess, and then a very subtle smoke flavor, which all the flavors combined perfectly complemented each flavor on its own. And now to the final point, and I know everyone's thinking it. Isn't it chewy? Octopus is always chewy. Well, you're absolutely correct. If it's cooked incorrectly, it is chewy. This octopus was anything but chewy. It was tender, it was buttery, and it was super rich. and I'm giving the Wild Fish Cannery's Smoked Octopus a 9 out of 10. Now for the main event, the 2.7 ounce cup of Nissin's seafood cup noodle soup that costs $1.98, which out of 107 ratings received 4.2 stars out of 5. Here's the list of ingredients. And like the title said, this cup noodle soup contains real seafood. Although dehydrated, it's real, like dried giant calamari, which is squid, and shrimp and snow crab. I bet the snow crab in this is so minimal, it's equal to someone just licking the shell and spitting the flavor in the bowl, which surprised me because I thought the seafood in this would be surimi. Well, it actually does have surimi in it, with dried fish protein made of pollock and or Pacific whiting, which is the imitation crab meat. The whole cup of soup has 340 calories, 13 grams of total fat, 6 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 40 milligrams of cholesterol, 1,450 milligrams of sodium, 47 grams of carbohydrates, 2 grams of fiber, 5 grams of sugars, and 9 grams of protein. Now I know the cup noodle soups are meant to be cooked in the cup, either with boiling water or in the microwave, but I wanted to do something different today. Why? Because I can. And also, I like to read the comments when people get mad at me. So we filled up the cup to the line inside the cup with water and then poured it into the pan. Then we turned the heat on high and brought it up to a boil. And then once it was up to a boil, we turned the heat off and let it sit for 3 minutes. 3 minutes later, our seafood cup noodle soup is ready. So we gave it a good mix and scooped up some of the ramen, the broth, and the seafood. And I have to be perfectly honest, that does not look very good. And then into the old pie hole and down the gullet it went. And it didn't taste good either. It wasn't that it tasted bad, it was that it didn't have any taste at all. It was extremely bland. Just the opposite of what I was expecting from seafood noodle soup. I don't know if it's the cup noodle soup or if it's me being spoiled with the Korean ramen noodle soups, which are 10,000 times better than most instant ramen soups, especially this one. So I'm gonna have to give the Nissin seafood cup noodle soup a 1 out of 10. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.